A few years ago, a large client organization approached me with a need that they described in the following way. We need to get rid of the meeting after the meeting, where people discuss what they really thought and felt during the actual meeting but didn't say. We want to help our people stop bad ideas from getting a pass, and then encourage them to put new ideas forward, even if they might be partial and unbaked, or at least very different from our current common wisdom. Can you develop a training program that would help with this? On hearing the presenting issues, I first explored with them the possibility that they were looking for skills in interpersonal or intergroup communication, or perhaps in conflict resolution. While my own company had existing programs in those arenas, it soon became clear to all of us that the issue was not really conflict, but rather the fear of conflict or of loss of security, status, or relationship, for example. This fear suppressed people's willingness to suggest unusual or innovative ideas or to risk criticizing ideas promoted by leaders. I suggested that there may not have been any actual conflict to manage or resolve. In fact, the client group described the organizational culture as conflict averse. Next, I inquired whether a better set of influencing skills, also a specialty of my company, might be useful. In fact, they thought the primary approach to getting their people to agree was power, whether used overtly or below the radar, or even unconsciously. While influence skills might have been useful, once some interesting ideas had been put out there to compete for support, the real problems were that the ideas laid on the table, often by senior managers or those who wanted to curry favor with them, tended to be obvious, weak, or traditional, and that little effort was made to criticize or improve them. Once a leader mentioned or approved of an idea, other ideas rarely emerged from the group. Clearly, leaders in that organization needed to do a much better job of inviting and welcoming alternatives, while at the same time, the company culture needed to become more supportive of engagement and healthy competition of ideas. Perhaps because of the existing climate, team members appeared to have a skills deficit. When I identified an apparent unwillingness, inhibition, or inability on the part of many team members to risk speaking up to make bad ideas better, or to develop small ideas into robust ones, without provoking interpersonal conflict, the client agreed that this situation was worth targeting for improvement. My team would work on skill development, but we would also do our best to help them move their culture toward one that welcomed constructive discussion, disagreement, and debate, all the while supporting their strategic initiatives related to change and innovation. Why don't people speak up? Organizational or team cultures that discourage disagreement and debate risk missing ideas that could transform their business results, create greater efficiency, or help them to become a great place to work, attracting the best talent. Those ideas, or at least the seeds of them, walk out the actual or virtual door of their company every day between the ears of team members. Worse, ignoring, not requesting, or not providing honest feedback can lead to disastrous results, financial or otherwise. Serious errors of judgment can and do occur when people assume that those who are senior to them in rank or experience can never be questioned. When people who wish to express unusual or unpopular ideas and opinions are silenced, directly or indirectly, disasters can and do happen. In a classic example of this, the Rogers Commission report on the causes of the spaceship Challenger's fatal accident in 1986 stated, "Failures in communication resulted in a decision to launch 51L, Challenger, based on incomplete and sometimes misleading information, a conflict between engineering data and management judgments, and a NASA management structure that permitted internal flight safety problems to bypass key shuttle managers."